goat cheese.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Goatbots. We're eating goat cheese. It's good. I like it. Hey, and there she is.
Beckoned. What has happened? Why are Anakatos' acolytes attacking us? What is he doing with the Hyperion? Destroy Idylla? No! That zealous fool! Have the loss of his gods driven him to such despair to use the Beckoned and the Cipher for such ends? We must make our way from this place. We cannot stop Anakatos from here. Take this talisman. The Silent Choir acolyte who bore it won't need it anymore. Now let's move.
Here's really good cheese.
Farewell.
Hey! Of course it's good as a goat. Goat cheese, it just... I mean, have you ever
It's very sharp.
hung out with a pack of goats? They're just the most adorable little things. They like to nibble on your fingers. And
And therefore, because of all the finger juices that they absorb, they make great cheese. You have confusing logic.
They just have floppy ears. They like being scratched. They're just probably my favorite farm animal by far.
So their wacky nature makes them have good milk. I don't think that's how biology works, but I'll accept it because cheese.
No, I'm just saying that if I had to raise an animal for cheese, it would probably be a goat.
Then, yep. Cows are kind of boring.
Yeah, I know. I mean, calves are cute. Cows are a little pushy and they'll bowl you over if they really want to. Mm-hmm. Remember the Angus cows at your uncle's farm? Plus, they were covered in flies. Mm-hmm. Ugh. But, nah. I very much like Greek and Roman history and mythology and whatnot. In part because...
Anakatos has sealed himself in with the Hyperion, and his Silent Choir will lay down their lives for him. I do not know what to do, Beckoned. I have defended my people from beasts and disasters, but nothing like this.
From experience, the easiest solution is just to stab him 47 times in the chest.
Of course. I will not let Anakatos destroy my people because he believes the gods demand it. I know we have the strength we need inside of us, despite his claims. We are worth saving, even if the gods disagree. But Anakatos has sealed himself in the Hyperion antechamber. Without the cipher and knowledge of the Hyperion, we are lost.
It makes me think of, like...
Then let's storm the Hyperion.
Incan and Mayan society, and how many people were probably needlessly having their hearts ripped out of them for religious
fervor.
rituals.
Yeah.
Young girls,
Anakatos
too.
is lucky enough to have your cipher to exploit it. With the cipher drained, we will never force it to unseal. If we knew more of the Hyperion itself, we might learn of some other way into it. But the only one that has this knowledge is Anakatos himself. Anakatos and his Silent Choir had a monastic retreat in the wilderness, Naros. We should search it for anything that might help us open the Hyperion.
Great.
Very
Fetch
well.
quest. Mm-hmm. So he's locked himself in a room here that we can't get through because we need to know stuff. Mm-hmm.
But as I was saying, I'm actually a fair portion Greek and Italian. My great-grandfather was Poniatos Fotopoulos, which is just a really nice name.
What she means is her great-grandfather was a shuffled pony. He was kind of adorable.
Well, Poniatos actually is sort of like Peter, which means stone. And then
Give me some more of that goat cheese.
Photopoulos means the city of light.
Goat cheese. Oh.
But
I don't know. I just think it's like Photopolis. Photopolis is like phototopolis. So picture city of ponies. There we go.
what?
Phonetic definitions are the best definitions, especially when they're hideously wrong. Loot.
I mean, hey, we get the word photo from photo.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, shitty phonetic definitions are the best.
And then you get things like Metropolis. And what other cities are named
We cannot
Polis?
waste time. There does not appear to be much here, but we have to be thorough. Very
Is-
well.
They're like Annapolis.
Yeah. Minneapolis. It's the smaller Apollos. I mean, really what it is, it's Minnesota Opolis.
Minnesota City, pretty much.
Minnesota-opoly. The best kind of Monopoly. Except for, like, some of the cards would require you to recite certain, like, Minnesota facts that just, like, nobody knows anymore because they're stupid and obscure.
If you guys still like playing board games, I highly suggest buying the spin-off editions of classics. Because you know how they always make, Star Wars Monopoly.
Oh, Pokemonopoly, yeah.
Or, like, Halo Risk. Or, I think there's even a World of Warcraft Risk. Or, like, a whole bunch of other things. I think we just got, it was Star Trek Catan for my brother for his birthday recently. And it's like playing Settlers of Catan, but in space. And with spaceships. And space stations. Except my cousins were dismayed at the fact that there were no longer sheep that you could trade.
But it does have food in the game, so we've just decided to name everything sheep. And if somebody asks for food, we just give them a blank stare.
What is it?
It's beautiful. I need some sheep.
They said that it was logical because the sheep could be in the crates.
Yep.
That were food.
Yep. In the future, people just only eat sheep.
Oh, that'd be terrible. Also, isn't sheep really hard to eat? Like you have to grind it up into mutton just to make it palatable.
It's tough. I'd like to try mutton. I've only had a little bit of sheep, and it was in France. And I barely remember anything. We were at a restaurant, and it's like, what do you want? And it's like, lamb's tongue. No way!
Beckoned, not time. Seek, Primus, below.
She doesn't sound good.
Yep. No, what the Primos is doing is more or less killing her.
Mm-hmm.
Because whatever that artifact is has a lot to do with her. And with any luck...
Maybe it's sort of like her soul or something. Maybe the gods are really just...
Yeah, maybe.
That stone thing.
I'm afraid we have dishonored my master, Arcas. He is a pious man who has always sought to serve. And we use the power of his position to force us on the true path without his knowledge. Slavery, oppression, pain, all are you.
Hold a moment. These are bodies of colossi. What are they doing here? Wait, I recognize some faces. Belfron, Armandia, these were great colossi, all viable competitors for the role of Primos at one time or another. I do not like the implications of this. What has Anakatos wrought?
Did he
Farewell.
kill off all the competition?
Yep, he murdered his competition. Apparently a while ago, or recently, I'm not entirely sure.
Wouldn't people have
Noticed?
gotten the cue and being like, wait...
Well, the thing is, Anakatos is, even before he was the Primos, a largely important religious leader, according to that lore stone we just went by.
Well, that was about Arceus, wasn't it?
Anakatos said that they were using Arceus' authority without his knowledge to set the...
Trespassers, you are too late! The council already lies dying in the torture chambers, and the Jotun slaves will soon be butchered as the master ordered. Come, brothers and sisters, let us deal with these curs.
Yeah, the silent choir ain't so silent anymore. They're actually firing like lightning and poops at me.
Half the cheese is gone. We should stop.
Never stop. Cheese is the best thing in the world.
They got my father quadruple bypass surgery. We shouldn't
That's
eat...
because his heart was weak. It couldn't handle the cheese.
No, you're terrible. That
I am
was
the worst.
a traumatic experience.
Here, I found these during the fight. I do not know what they once bound, but they might be of use to you. Now, we must decipher what that cultist said. But there are also the slaves. They will be killed if we don't save them. But if the Council is dying, we must choose who we see to first. The Council must be important. Something that could help us find a flaw in his plan, perhaps, or learn more about the cipher in the Hyperion. I do not believe so. The Council is dying if Anakatos' dogs are to be believed, and the slaves are to be executed. I am unsure who we should be trying to help, but you are the beckoned of Athene. I must defer this choice to you. So decide. Do we go to the slave pens and help the slaves? Or do we go to the torture chambers to try to find Anakatos' council before it dies?
Why don't you ask about the council?
I do not know what the council is, but I have had enough surprises today. I only hope that we can find it of use.
And what about the Jotun? Are they the slaves?
I can only imagine what labors Anakatos had them perform. Could this have been the cause for Karunk's war?
So did we just condemn them to death when in fact they were being enslaved?
Probably. Well,
Be cautious.
we got two options. Choose who to save. It doesn't even tell us which oh god. It doesn't even
So
tell
that's
us.
the silent choir. I don't know what's beyond
But it doesn't
that.
tell us which direction is which. Which direction is the slaves and which one is the... Oh. Well, this is a conundrum.
Well, do you want to save the slaves, or who is this council? Do they belong to Anakatos?
I don't know. But here's the thing. We have no idea which is through which door. So I'm just going to pick one at random. Because either way, it's going to help us get to the end. I'm just not sure. Oh, these are the torture chambers.
Oh, so you want to save the council?
I want to see who the council is. I saved the game. I mean, should I go back and go save the slaves instead? What do you think I should do?
I don't know, because now that I know that the Jotun...
We're innocent. I feel like we should do some kind of redemption, saving them.
But the thing is, aren't they already slaughtered outside by her people?
Well, it's too late. Quest's already changed. Yeah. I don't know. I still don't feel bad for the Jotun, considering in the past they've been kind of dickish anyway. As far as, like, the races go. And it was the Jotun that drove them here, the Colossi here originally anyway.
Mm-hmm. Uh-oh.
Finally the
Arceus.
day has come. The wait has been long, and nearly unbearable. But at last, you are here. Before my strength has fled me, ever since the day I brought ruin to my people, I thought this burden was my punishment. It seems I have not survived for my sake, but for yours. It is a joy to see you beckoned. I have much to tell you, and I do not have much time left. I am Arceus. Once I was the primos of the Colossi, but no longer.
That's Arceus.
Uh-huh, the guy that we stole a circlet from an empty tomb or something.
Yep. So we didn't exactly steal it from him, but...
Mm-hmm.
Okay, going after to save this guy makes sense.
It is what Anakatos calls me. For though his faith runs deep, his knowledge of the gods' will is malformed. You must have seen the travesties this false prophet has wrought in the name of my people. And now, the Hyperion is his. We must focus on the Hyperion. The gods brought you here because you can answer the riddle of my people's fate. You, and you alone. Yes, you and it both. For without you, the cipher cannot be of use. And without it, your power cannot be harnessed. For the riddle of my people's future is one the gods themselves cannot answer. Fate is obeyed by all. By all. Except for you. More than that. It was Anokatos who insisted we build the antechamber. That we try and force the Hyperion to rise. It, in desperate times, his thought made sense. But when I brought the wrath of the gods down, only he and I survived. He dragged me, broken, to his domain, and kept me on the edge of life, so he could learn the wisdom of the Primos.
Wow.
Big traitor.
Yeah, giant douche nozzle.
The power to change fate. That is the role of the beckoned. To serve the gods and unbind my people. But Anokatos schemes. Though he will not receive the favor of Athene, he is not ready for the Hyperion. He will bring destruction. It is too soon. But I have left the answers long before. Find Sikandra. Ask her about our last day. And tell her I am sorry.
Arcades. I had always... He had died. He had died years ago when the gods rebuked him and our people. It was truth. Anokatos had him alive and tortured. I watched him die years before. All that was left of him was a circlet. A circlet.
Last day. See? Am I right? Did they like each other?
Our last day. The day... Could it mean the last day that I saw him? The last day we spoke? Before the Hyperion tragedy, he asked me to escort him through the wilds, to the shrines outside the city, the shrines of earth and air. He told me to remember them when times seem bleak. I thought nothing of it, but could he have known about this? About now? Because I am his daughter. It was known to many, and it used to be a bond of pride. And he taught me the wisdom of a Primos. But then, Arcades brought down the wrath of the gods. I thought that was how faith was always rewarded.
Called it.
Yeah, you're right.
Called it so hard.
I once thought that faith was what would ruin my people, the thing that would distract them from their happiness. But I see now, it is apathy. To not care for our people, that is Anokatos' sin. As I thought it was our cases before him. But this is so much larger. Larger than I ever thought. And Arcades, he always knew that I would be here. He must have always known.
Well, then we go see the shrines, I guess.
There's
The task is clear. We need to... Ah! My head! Can you feel it? Something is wrong. This magic... Anakatos has done something. We must return to the city. We might be too late. Something grave has happened. I can feel it in my body. I fear Anakatos may have accomplished his goal.
Oh, I hope the city upstairs isn't
Farewell.
completely in ruins.
It seems slightly likely.
In this confession I shall tell of how my master was brought nearly to his death.
Our final task
failed
waits.
Athene in our mission to bring her servants to a devout state.
Can't hear him at all. Subtitles are gone. I really hate that any kind of like outside dialogue will...
I mean, you were leaving the area, so you shouldn't.
In the youth of Amalur lived the Uranos, existing from the hill lands alone. They held not the blessings of the gods, and so were blinded to their own potential. We lived in ignorance among the savage people. We wasted the gifts of the gods ourselves.
Sounds oddly like a church service.
Yep. So everything's still there. The city is still there. There's weird magical stuff, but if you notice, nothing's green anymore. Nothing's pretty anymore. This area used to be nice and pretty and green earlier with like water flowing and stuff. And now it's like barely that way. Like it gets a little bit greener as you get over here. But that area we just walked through did not used to be nearly as dusty.
Really? Wasn't that where the birdies were?
No, no. That was further up, and even that part was kind of green, whereas that was just bleak and terrible looking. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am.
The city seems intact, but still, the henge has already become disrupted. Anakatos has sealed us from the city. It is only a matter of time before he finds a way to destroy Idylla. We must find what Arche spoke of, and quickly. Arche's requested specifically that we go to the shrines of earth and air on the last day we spent together. There are two sites in the wilderness, touched by the gods, one in the peaks of the Teeth, and the other in its canyon. These were called the shrines of earth and air. I thought nothing of them, but Arches knew. He must have known this day would come, when we needed them. Yes, the last day came long after we had stopped speaking. The burdens of his reign had all but consumed him. He made a pilgrimage to the shrine of earth and air, and I was his guard. He asked for me personally. He said I would need these places when the hour was darkest. I thought it was a half-felt apology. But I never forgot it, and neither did he. Yes, the Hyperion was larger, more impressive, but these areas bore the same mysterious substance that the Hyperion was crafted from. We have never seen its like before. It must be some divine element. The gods use it then as a marker for us. I cannot say for sure, but there is more than coincidence here. That Arche showed these places to me, that he mentioned them as he died. But we have little else to act on, and with every moment the chance of Anakatos' calamity occurring grows greater. Very well.
Well, there we go. Alright, and we will continue this on the next episode of Kingdoms of Amalur. I really expected we'd be off and stabbing what's-his-face in the face sooner. But no, it seems like quite the long journey just to get the ability to stab one kind of jerkish-ass man.
Yep.
Oh, hey, there it is. Well, we'll go talk to it on the next episode. See you guys then!